Hi, fun recap here. Today, I'll be explaining an interesting Nigerian movie titled A Girl Like Her. Have fun watching. The movie begins with a scene where a girl called Cindy asked her driver who was driving her somewhere to stop by a corn seller's shop so she could buy corn. The woman immediately gave the corn to her daughter, who was known as Chidinma, to give them to her in return for the money. But the moment Cindy set her eyes on Chidinma holding the corn with bare hands, she got angry and started yelling at her, calling her dirty, that she wanted to infect her and all that. Because first of all, the corn wasn't well packaged and the girl wasn't good looking in person as well. Chidinma tried to plead with her to forgive her for her mistake of not packaging the corn, that she accepted. But then Cindy got angry and slapped her instead. She then rained insults on the poor woman and her daughter and left with her driver. On the way back, the driver tried convincing her that what she did wasn't right and needed to apologize to the woman, but she insulted him instead. When they left, Chidinma's mother asked her what really happened, and she explained to them. She also expressed herself that she was feeling bad for being treated that way by a rich girl just because she was from a poor background. Her mother and best friend, who was there at the moment, then consoled her. Back in Cindy's house, she went to her room angrily. So her mother asked the driver what happened when they went out, which he narrated the whole story to her. Cindy's mother then went to confront her daughter about her behavior earlier. This got Cindy more angry, and she later called the driver and then slapped him and also rained insults on him for reporting her to her mother. Her younger sister later tried telling her that what she did to the driver wasn't nice and that she needed to apologize, but she insulted her also and sent her out of her room. By morning, Chidinma and her mother had gotten over the issue and directed their attention back to their corn business. Her mother was even telling her how hectic it was for her to get corn for them to sell that day, just because they were in the corn season at that time and there were too many people on the market. Cindy's mother also told her younger daughter how proud she was of her for being a good girl and that she should continue being a good girl. She shouldn't follow her elder sister's lead, which she agreed to do. Apparently, Cindy has always been a rude, notorious, and an ungrateful child just because she is rich. She has always treated people she felt were below her standard with disrespect, and her mother was aware of this but couldn't really do much to change her child's behavior. She thought the girl was too stubborn, that no matter her efforts and how hard she tried to correct her, she just kept getting worse as she grew older. The next day, when Chidinma and her mom prepared for their shop, Cindy's mother called the driver and asked him to take her to the place where Cindy wanted to buy the corn and show her the people she disrespected so she could apologize to them on her daughter's behalf. The driver took her there, and as said earlier, she apologized to them on her daughter's behalf and even gave Chidinma some gifts as compensation, which included a mobile phone. Chidinma and her best friend started taking pictures with the new phone she had received from Cindy's mother. Meanwhile, Cindy overheard her mother making a phone call with her friend, telling her the recent happenings concerning her daughter's behavior and how she had to compensate and apologize to the corn sellers on her behalf. She got pissed and then confronted her mother and started screaming at her for going to apologize to those poor dirty people. Her mother tried scolding her, but she wouldn't stop talking back at her mom, so she had no choice than to send her out of the room. One day, on Chidinma's way to the corn shop, they met a guy who said Chidinma had the perfect body structure for a model and that they've been looking for someone like her to be their model for some time now. Chidinma didn't seem interested and was reluctant to give her contact out to the guy. So the guy gave them his card instead, that they should call him when they are ready to talk about business. Chidinma later told her mother about her encounter with the rich guy earlier and the thought of her being a model. But her mother refused, saying that she wasn't willing to involve herself or her daughter in any kind of rich people's business. Cindy was also losing her head at the thought that her mother gifted someone who was below her standards, someone who was very poor and dirty for that matter, in her name. I was thinking of what to do to correct her mother's mistake. That day, she ordered a driver to take her to Chidinma's mother's shop once her mother travels, because she knew her mother would travel that evening. When she got there, she went straight to Chidinma, destroyed their corn, and started insulting them. She then told her she made the worst mistake of her life for accepting gifts from her mother. She wanted to take the gift from her, especially the phone, but her friend stepped in, saying that Chidinma's mother had taken the phone, so she had no choice than to let it go. She then told Chidinma that she was very angry at her and was going to deal with her mercilessly, that if she didn't want her to descend on her, she should come to her house and apologize to her. She gave Chidinma her address before leaving. When Chidinma told her mother what happened in her absence, she also convinced her daughter to go and apologize to Cindy, because Cindy was rich and she didn't want to have any problem with any rich person, that she knew what kind of power rich people had because of their money, and that she was just a poor single mother with nothing. Because of this, she escorted her daughter the next day to Cindy's house herself, just so she would go and apologize to her. The moment Chidinma laid her eyes on Cindy, she got down on her knees and began apologizing immediately. But Cindy claimed that she wasn't convinced and asked her to lay on the floor and apologize and plead for forgiveness before she forgave her, which Chidinma did, and she finally decided to let her go. Chidinma's mother, who was watching from a distance, was happy Cindy had at least forgiven her daughter. A few days later, Chidinma then started asking her mother about her father and why they had to be so poor, because she was tired of being humiliated and treated badly just because she came from a poor background. The guy who wanted to help Chidinma become a model received a call from Cindy, who was talking to him anyhow and yelling at him due to reasons best known to her. It was later discovered that Cindy was working for the same modeling agency the guy's father owned, but because of her anger issues and her unpleasant attitude, they were looking for a replacement, and that's how he found Chidinma. Anytime her younger sister tries talking to her, she'll get angry and always send her out of her room, until one day she accidentally hurt her in the process. She had to be taken to the hospital by the driver because their mother wasn't home at that time. One day, Chidinma left her phone with her friend, and she texted Adam secretly and told him that they were interested in the modeling career, and sent Adam their home address, which made him very happy. Adam went to see Chidinma's mother because she requested to see him and have a one-on-one discussion with him before she could agree to allow her daughter into modeling with him, after she had made sure that he wasn't a scam. After talking to him for a while, she was later convinced by Adam that the modeling opportunity which was being offered her daughter was actually going to earn her money, and she agreed to let her proceed since she saw it as a job opportunity and not just a waste of time. Chidinma later got into modeling, and within the shortest possible time, she became one of the best models in the States. Her mother was always there to support her, and she was so happy and excited about the sight of her daughter's transformation. She kept on working as a model in Adam's father's modeling agency. Also, she got the support she needed from her mother, best friend, and also Adams. They kept on running their corn business while Chidinma worked as a model on the side. Her mother always showed gratitude to Adams for giving her daughter such an opportunity. Cindy, on the other hand, was also scrolling through her phone one day when she came across Chidinma's photos. She saw that Chidinma has become one of the most popular models in the States, and that was when realization hit her that her once modeling career had been taken away from her by the poor girl she once bullied. She called Adams immediately to make complaints, but he only confirmed that she had lost her job in his father's agency. She became so jealous that she was having sleepless nights and called her driver and asked him to go and burn Chidinma's house down. He told him to gather people to burn their house down and that he should make sure that Chidinma and her mother would be in the house when that was being done, so that they will both burn into ashes. The next morning, the driver went to tell Chidinma's mother about Cindy's plan of burning her and her daughter together with their house down, and asked them to find a way to escape from the house before that is done. She thanked him for being a good man and then telling her about the bad things Cindy has plotted against them, and packaged some corn for him as her little way of showing appreciation. She then went to tell her daughter about the situation and then called Adam immediately to ask him to help them, that if he could assist them with a place they could at least spend the night for the meantime, because Adams was the only person they knew could help them at that moment. When Adams got there, she explained everything to him and he immediately asked them to bring out their bags so that he could take them to his house. And that was how Chidinma and her mom were rescued. When Cindy later found out that Chidinma and her mom were still alive, that she was still modeling and posting pictures, she got angry and directed her anger onto the driver for not doing what she asked him to do. She then tried calling Adams every day to apologize, but Adam wouldn't answer her calls. This made her very depressed that she even asked for her mother's assistance so she could reach Adams. When her mother finally spoke to Adams, he revealed the truth about her daughter's plans of killing the innocent Chidinma and her mother, which made her mother very angry and told her that she was suffering the consequences of her own doings. They one day received the good news that Chidinma was going to travel outside the country to become a better runway model. The news sounded too good to be real. They were all happy for her, especially her mother, and also her mother and best friend were also told they could actually go with Chidinma. Her mother broke down into tears because she never thought a poor single mother like her would one day find herself in such a position. Depressed Cindy also started reflecting on her actions with tears in her eye and regrets in her heart. Her mother also reminded her about her warnings that everything that was happening to her was her own fault. She has lost the opportunity or chance of ever becoming a runway model, which she has always dreamt of becoming, and also she was dropped out of school because she was suspended for failing several. A girl like her. The end. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to be able to see more exciting videos like this. See you on the next episode.